Hello, YouTubers. This is a new session. A lot of people have reached out to me and they asked me, Hassan, I heard about this Git file project that you have that helps people kind of learn about open source, measure their performance, measure their contributions. And I want to be able to contribute. That's the first question anybody asked me. Said, how do I contribute to these projects that you have spread across, your ecosystem or standard compliant projects? So first of all, I will show you here something real quick, and then I am joined today with a very nice guy. His name is Rama, right?
Yeah,
Rama?
RAM, yeah.
Ram. Ram is joining me today, and we'll talk a little bit about. We're gonna have a real life because Ram just reached out to me, and he basically said to me, "Hey, I want to be able to contribute." And I said, "Okay, a lot of people are asking me this question, so why don't we take this as an opportunity, to kind of educate everybody and show everybody, Ram is his camera's broken today, so he's gonna just be voice with us. He's gonna be the voice of reason in my head, but other than that, he's gonna be just fine. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen here real quick before we just to show people if you are logged in, as a person who haven't had any contribution to a standard compliant project or to the open source community in general. If you go into Git file like this and you try to log in, you will get this screen here, and this screen will basically say sign in with your GitHub profile, and then we'll be able to kind of tell you what your performance is and where you stand and all that kind of stuff. And this is all great. If you try to log in, I'm going to log in with a non-contributing GitHub account. So I'm just going to go like this. Here we go. And then you're gonna see this message. It'll basically say hi Git file, and then it says it doesn't seem that you have any participation in any standard compliant repos. Here's some open opportunities. So see all these open opportunities, and then it shows you all the repositories that you can contribute to, right? What we're gonna do here is that we're gonna do that experience together. We're gonna go excuse me, we're gonna go through that experience together, just to show people what it's like to kind of do that. And I think we have the wrong banner here for the yeah, I'll just put that banner here because that's much better. Okay, so here's the deal. What you want to do, okay, Ram, do you want to share your screen and just log into Git file, and then I will show you the entire process. Go ahead. Mhm.
Sure, Hassan. Actually, I forgot my password. Actually,
You forgot
Git
your
password.
password on GitHub? Okay,
Yeah,
that's one problem that
I'm
some people go ahead.
I'm trying to reset the password. Give me a couple of minutes.
No worries, no worries. Okay, while Ram is doing that, I'm just gonna show you guys here. Like you'll see, most of these tasks are ordered by category. So you'll see all the infrastructure pieces together, brokers together, foundations, components, page, acceptance, all these different categories. Someone might say, well, what are the categories that's out there? If you click on the About Us section, you will see this area here where it says, okay, there's infrastructure, there's provision, here's the value of each and every one of them because you're gathering scores, right? Someone who did a code refactor is not like someone who built an entire API. These two are not the same. So you want to basically distinguish between them. In here, basically, you'll see all these different types, and I couldn't really think of anything outside of these categories and these types that a software engineer at any point in time would need to do. Like I have yet to find an activity that doesn't fall within one of these types, right? You're either building an infrastructure component or a provision component. You're migrating data, doing brokers, foundations, views, and so on and so forth. So this should take care of all of that. And if you are logged in with a contributing profile, you'll be able to see all, excuse me, all these different aspects in terms of contribution. If you click on any of these things, let me go back to the profile here real quick, and then let me show you. If you click on any of these opportunities, let's pick up a code drop task. Like for instance, let's say, I don't know, there's fixed package conflict, add unit test, maybe assignment status. There is one here that's easy I can pick up for RAM. Let's see here, assignment, same exception. There's many of these, out there. Huge thanks to Shri and all the other contributors. There it is, a remove storage validation. If I click on this one, you'll see here what the requirement is. Code drop remove stay storage validations from attachments retrieval. Usually I will leave you some documentation, but even if I didn't, all you got to do is just find issues that have the same title like this. So look at this one, remove storage validation from users retrieval, right? Or maybe one like the teachers retrieval, right? And you'll see a PR, a pull request attached to it. If you go to the pull request, nothing documents an issue like the code itself. So if you look at the documentation, you'll see how this worked. You know, some people just go and pick up the entire task and they work on it. And as usual, I'm more than happy to kind of answer any questions. Like you could go on the issue itself. Like let's say there's an open issue in here. You found an open issue in Git file and you said take it, and you went to that issue and it says that you can just very simply go here and say, hey, you know, Hassan, how do I solve this problem? Right? I need more details, right? And people do that all the time. Sometimes people reach out to me and they say, you know, I don't know how to fix this problem that you just told me about. You know, how I need more details, right? This is where I'm going to come in and actually give you more details and say, yeah, actually, you know, you can do this and that, and this is how you can fix this problem. All right. So, Ram, are you ready now?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, so Ram is going to do that exactly right now, but in the real life, in the real world, I'm going to walk you through the actual process. So go ahead, Ram, share your screen.
Yep. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, it's on the, yeah, I can see
Yeah.
it now. Okay, so let's start from the top. Let's go to get file profile real quick, if you have the link.
Okay. The link which you shared, yours.
Yeah, just type in getfile.com. That's all. In the browser. Yeah, go ahead. Get file. File with the Y. Get file with the Y. So FYLE. Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
You're fine. Yep, .com. So okay, so it's going to this website, and now it's asking you to log in with your GitHub. So go ahead and log in with your GitHub. You're already logged in. You're just going to say authorize. It's only looking at your public data, so it's not really trying to sneak into your private information or any of that stuff. Okay, now it's saying, you know, it doesn't seem that you have any participations. Now, do you see all these open opportunities? Let's scroll down a bit. We'll pick up something real fast and real quick. Uh, Go to page 7 or something. Page 7.
Okay.
Let's see here. Do you see that remove storage validations? Pick up any one of these. Take it. Just click take it.
Any of the one?
Any one of them.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so here's one. This one here says remove storage validations from attachments retrieval. What does that mean? What is that supposed to mean? Let's go ahead and do this. Let's start by forking this repository. So Ram, if you scroll up a little bit, you'll see a button that says fork on the right side. Click fork. Top right, fork.
Yep.
There you go. All right, so now you're forking this guy, meaning that you're taking a copy to your account, right? So see, this is MRK ready
Yep.
6 slash OSSS, right? That basically means that you have a copy of this. So even if the original copy have changed, this copy that you have on your account on GitHub is going to stay the same. Are we
Mm-hmm.
good? Now
Yep.
let's go and do this. Drop down that code button and copy the or you could just say open in Visual Studio. I think there is also that option in there. Does it give you that option? It's not?
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
okay.
think. Yeah.
That's not a problem. So copy that guy and let's go to Visual Studio. And then go back, click back, and then we're just going to say open a project from GitHub. Yep, clone a repository. Do you see that guy? Yep, there you go. Slap that link in there, just paste it in there. And then just click clone. Yeah, you don't have to do that. Don't worry about that part. Unless you're not signed in, then that's a different story.
Okay.
Here you go. See, it's cloning it into Visual Studio.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, so now you have that project locally. So if you click on if you double click and open, see it's scanning, it's opening the folder. Give it a second there, just 1 second. Yeah, double click on that OSSS. Yep.
So do we have any branching policies here?
Yeah, yeah,
Which,
yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll create a branch. I'll tell you in a second. You know, yeah, yeah. Well, of course, you have to do branches, right? Otherwise, you won't be able to kind of open. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So do we have any develop branch or something like that, or a
No,
master is
no,
the
no, no. It's just master branch. We don't do that
okay?
develop and then it goes out of date and now when you merge things, hell breaks loose. No, no, no. We don't do that at all. Okay, so here's the deal. So go back to Solution Explorer.
Just a second.
Okay, so be careful before you set that up. So click configure. You want to set those to match exactly the same email and name that you want to be displayed when you push commits. So if you use the different email, make sure you use that email in there. Yeah, there you go. So that's one, and then that's the display name. Is that why you want to be displayed? You just want to say RAM. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. Now save that guy. Perfect. Beautiful. Now let's just first verify that you are able to run the project. Let's just build. Let's just right click and build
yeah,
on the entire project. Right click from the solution, from the top, from the solution level.
yeah. I will do that. I just opened any of the file
Yeah,
because
that's right.
because
That's
uh,
right. hmm Yeah, build the whole solution. Let's do that. This is just to verify that things are running. Just a little piece of advice for everybody out there. You probably have ran into situations where you got this new job and people are saying, okay, I need to say, see, this guy is saying you need .NET 6. Let's go and install .NET 6.
yeah,
Also, Ram, what version of Visual Studio are you using?
2019.
Do you have 2022?
Let me check actually.
Okay, let's
I,
take a look. Mm,
yeah,
only
I don't think.
2019 you have. Okay, that's
Yeah,
okay. We'll figure it out together. Let's go on Google and just type in .NET install. Yep. And then go to download .NET. Should be just a second. And then let's download this guy. So do you see this whole thing that says installers? Let's get the x64 and let's install that guy. There you go. There we go. And then just double click on that guy and let's install it.
so the project which we cloned, is that running on .NET 6?
That's right. And most of the projects that you're going to be working on is always running on the latest and greatest. In fact,
Wow.
actually, as soon as a new version comes out, immediately. That's how every project should be, right? Because
Yeah.
I'll tell you why though. There's a story behind that. Sometimes people stop upgrading their price. Say, "Oh, we don't need that version. There's nothing we needed in that version," right? And what really happens is that people will go and they will delay the upgrade of the project, and then at some point in time, they will need a new feature that they can't
Hmm.
implement unless they have the latest upgrade, right? And when they try to do that, they're already 10 versions behind that the project becomes a hellfire. Like they can't work with it. Why? Because they delayed the upgrade, and now upgrading to get that version becomes a nightmare. So always, whatever the cost may be, always try to stay up to date. And this is what you're going to see here. You're going to see we're staying up to date all the time with the latest and greatest technologies, not just on the .NET. You'll see like Visual Studio 2022, where latest GitHub Actions, all the good stuff. You know what I mean?
So, Asan, I mean, since we are discussing about the versioning, so is it uh, is it easy to I mean upgrade the version once we created the project from, I mean, let's say from .NET 3 to 3.2 or something to .NET Core 3.2 or something to .NET 5 or 6?
hmm So so you're asking about the going. If you're at .NET 3, would you go to 5 or 6?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
go to
what?
6. You go to the latest. Go ahead.
So, I mean, let's say in our company or something, we have created the project with .NET 3
hmm
and we want to upgrade it to .NET 6.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So, is that simple, or I mean,
It's very simple. It's very
okay,
simple. As long as, so here's the thing, it's simple and necessary,
yeah,
right? I have special videos out there just to show people how to jump versions, right?
mhm,
It's simple and necessary. And if your project doesn't have any hacks in it, it'll be just really straightforward, no matter how complex the work that you're doing is with your project. Does that make sense?
okay,
All right, let's go back to this. Almost done there.
yeah.
All right.
So I think we are getting only the .NET 6.0 version. Other than that, we don't see any other issues,
Yeah,
any
that's the
other
only
issue.
issue. And by the way, most of these projects that you have, ideally, I want you to clone, build,
Mm-hmm.
pass.
Yeah.
Clone, build, pass, meaning that you clone the project, build it, and then all the tests will pass. Okay, so now you have .NET 6. Let's try this again. I really highly doubt that, Visual Studio 2019 will do it for you, but let's just try. Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's okay. Let's not stop there. Here's the deal. Do you have a command line? If you open up, if you go to Tools in your Visual Studio, Tools.
Okay.
Actually, before you do that, let's unload and reload the project. So close Visual Studio completely and open it back up. It might pick this up, although that I highly doubt it because 2019 doesn't know how to do that. So close the entire solution, like close Visual Studio, and let's open it right back up and see what that does. Oh, you haven't installed it yet.
No, it's installed actually.
Oh, you clicked twice. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's start Visual Studio again. What happened to your Visual Studio? Did it go away?
So actually, I have downloaded the not the professional one,
That's okay. There's
the enterprise one. So
yeah.
I'm done with my license. So that
That's
is the
okay.
reason.
There's also community versions, and by the way, community version will work just fine on open source. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's open Otriple again. Mhm, mhm. Yeah, let's hope it can pick up this time. It's loading the project. The project is about the solution is about 4 projects, but technically it's very lightweight. It's not doing any crazy stuff with, scripts, and you might have seen some of those. You're a professional engineer. You might have seen some of the crazy stuff that people sometimes do. I've seen a project where people don't have a solution file. They have a batch file that you have to run, so it generates the solution file.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. I have no idea why people do that. So anyway, let's try to build this project again and see what happens. Here we go. Can it do it? And I don't know if it's running the builds in parallel. It looks like it's running it in parallel. If there's no dependency, it will try to run them in parallel. I think that's okay. Let's see here. It looks like it's working, huh?
No, I don't
No,
think.
not really. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's the other option that you could have, and maybe next time you can get the Visual Studio 2022. Go into type in tools, and then go to NuGet Package Manager, and then go to Package Manager Console. Right. And then type this. Type .NET dash dash version. Okay. Do this. .NET test. Yep. Hit the button. Yep. So what we're gonna do now, you and I, we're gonna do it old school. What we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do is that we're gonna build the project and test it through the command line. And then
Okay.
we're gonna change some stuff in the project, and then we're gonna push a pull request,
Okay.
right? All through the command line. What do you think about that? This is why
Yeah.
command line is really important out there, you guys. You gotta. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. This guy here, do you have SQL Server installed on your machine?
Yes.
Okay, because this project, what it's doing, it's not just running unit tests, it's also
Mm-hmm.
running acceptance tests, meaning end-to-end tests. It
Okay.
creates the database, it creates the data, cleans up the data, all quick and sweet, no complications. Every single step is very well and thorough explained. Okay, so grab that package console manager, just expand it up a little bit instead of detaching it. Just expand it up a little bit, just in case. I think there is more down there. I see the scroller. Yeah, it's working. Okay, wait for it. Here we go. Okay, it's
So what
resolving.
what that command is doing, the .NET test command which we
Oh,
entered.
.NET Test, it will basically restore all the NuGet packages that your project requires,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will build it. It will build all the projects, and then it will run the tests, both acceptance and unit tests.
Oh, okay.
Basically, .NET Test is what I go to when I just try to make sure that everything is working. But now we have UI, beautiful UI and beautiful interfaces, so we can so easily kind of just click buttons, right? But it's always useful to know the command line because you're gonna get into situations like these, right, where you get stuck. And this is just to tell people watching us right now. I don't prepare these sessions. I just pick up someone and they say, "Hey, I want to work with something." And then
Yeah.
whatever problem we face, we fix because that's what we do, right? We're engineers, right? Nothing should stop you. You should be, I think engineers should be like a torrent, you know what I mean? Like a flow of water, just unstoppable. It just goes and finds ways, right? Okay, here you go. So it says I found some test files. Check this out. And then it's gonna try to run. We have about 1,400 tests, and all these
Wow.
1,400 tests, but the unit tests are 1,400 and they should all execute within 1 second. The acceptance test will take a little bit of time because it's actually IO intensive. It's actually writing data, but the unit tests will be only 1 second or less. You'll see. Just wait for it.
Hmm. So one question, Hassan. I mean,
Uh-huh.
this package manager console.
Uh-huh.
So does it ignore the build errors? Because I mean, when we try
No,
to,
no, it doesn't. It just doesn't, it's not tied up to Visual Studio. It's a command line, right? It
okay.
doesn't know so Visual Studio, what is happening? See how much time did it take? 1,400 tests, it took 7 seconds. How crazy is that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So here's the deal, my friend. The command line is basically phasing away the IDE. It's basically saying I'm not going to use the IDE or any of its limitations, right? I'm
Okay.
just going to run bare bones. By the way, the command line, this .NET test that you're running is basically what Visual Studio doing underneath, but
Hmm.
instead of just printing out this data like this, it's going and mapping every test to a graphical user interface like these green dots that you see that says, okay, the tests are passing. You know what I mean? So right now, what this guy is doing is basically, and don't worry about these, this is basically saying, let me test all the possible different permutations. It looks like errors, but it's just testing everything in your system.
Yeah.
This guy now is testing your database. Just the fact that it's running right now, if you open up SQL Server, open up the SQL management service, you're gonna see something there called Otriple database or something like that. Yeah, the SSMS. Do you have it?
Oh my
Try
God.
try SQL. Just type in SQL.
Yeah, I don't
You don't
think.
have it. Then maybe this guy is actually failing. We'll see how many tests it says failed. So let's see. That the unit test has passed because the unit test have mocked the dependencies, right? But the integration, I know Visual Studio installs. I have another way to find out whether you have a database server installed or not. Click on View in Visual Studio. Click on View, and then go to SQL Server Object Explorer. See, you don't even need. See, I told you, we're engineers. We find solutions everywhere. Nothing should stop us, no matter what it is or what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, now expand that SQL Server and then expand that one underneath it. Yeah, expand that guy. And then expand databases. Check this out. DCC, it created database for
Yeah.
you with all the tables. Open up the tables piece. Wait for it. Look, and all your test has passed too. If you scroll down on the command line, see it created all the tables.
Oh,
How
so
easy how easy is that?
are we using entity framework here in this
Mm-hmm.
project? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Very simple and easy. You have a model, you create a broker, you create data migration, you create the services, you create the API, you create the UI. It's all musical. It's
Yeah.
all simple. Okay. So if you scroll down in your test here in your command line, see it says I ran 103 tests and all of them has passed within 1 minute 13 seconds. This
That's
is your confidence in the system, right? Now, let's create a branch. Do you see that little master at the
yeah.
bottom right? Yep. Create a new branch there and then type this users, no, all lowercase, users, and then slash, and then type in ram slash ram, no slash,
Okay. Slash.
ram, and then slash, and then type this coderub, one word, CODERUB, and then dash. Now, which task are you working on? If you go back to the web page, if you go back to the page that you were in, which task did we pick? Uh, Go to GitHub on the left side. Attachments, is it? Oh, let's click that problem again. Go to get file and click the link again. Yeah, take it. This is remove storage validations from attachments, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. Remove storage validations from attachments retrieval. Okay, then let's type this in your branch. Go to your branch. So the entity that we're working with is called attachments, right?
Okay.
Type in attachments and then dash and then remove dash retrieve all validation. Remove dash retrieve all validations. Retrieve. Okay, put a dash between retrieve and retrieve all and validations. Dash validations. Okay, so you see how your branch is very descriptive, right? I think retrieve needs a V. Need a V there. Retrieve. There you go. Create that guy. So that's your branch.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we gonna do now? Just to explain the problem for you, we used to have a warning thrown logged in when we try to retrieve entities from a database and the entities and the database set is empty. We don't need that anymore. We decided it's not very efficient and nobody's really using it. So let's do this. Go to the API, expand the API, and then go to services, and then go to foundations, and then go to attachments. Not attendance, attachments. And then let's open attachment service. Let's lower that guy a little bit. How do you lower it down? That's fine. Okay. So do you see that part where it says, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a function called retrieve all attachments. Do you see it?
Yeah.
We
Yes.
don't need that validate on line 58 anymore. Take that guy out. And since we don't need that guy anymore, we can just return directly from the method call. So remove line 60 and remove the first part of line 56.
So this one.
Yeah, remove that guy out and remove line 60 as well. Now it's line 58. Line 58. Okay, now we can one line all of this. Remove the semicolon and take away the squiggly and just make it all fat arrow. One big fat arrow function. So everything goes right next to that fat arrow, basically.
Yeah.
There you go. Remove that semicolon and close the parentheses and then put a semicolon. So close the parenthesis and then put a semicolon. Okay, now before we leave this page, expand that file that you're in. Do you see attachment service? Expand that file. Click on the arrow that's pointing out to this attachment service. Yep. Do you see the part where it says validations?
Yeah.
Take that guy, double click, and then remove the part where it says log warning. So if you scroll down a little bit more, there should be one here where it says there it is. Do you see it? Line 191 to 197. Remove all of that. Why? Because we don't need that validation anymore. And let's keep only one line between the two methods. So remove the two extra lines. There you go. That's it. Okay. Now save everything. Click save. Control S. And then let's run the tests again. But this time we should have one failing test. So click on tools and then NuGet package manager and then package manager console and then just type this .NET test and run again. We're not gonna wait for all of them. We just care about the one failing test. If it says there's one failing test, that's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. So wait for it. Here we go.
So since we opened this project, can you kind of go regarding this project, what this project will do and the
hmm
project structure?
Yeah, this project is basically an open source schooling system. So if you have a school and you're managing this school, there's students coming in, they're registering, all their needs. There's teachers, there is, books and attendance and classes and all that. This is the back end of this project. Project has a back end and a front end. And Otriple stands for Open Source Schooling System. And what it's really doing, it's helping provide free operating system. Look, here's the failing test. Okay,
Yeah.
click that stop button. Do you see that stop button? Yeah, click that guy. Copy that test name. Do you see the test name which says should log warning on retrieve? Copy that guy. Okay. So go on that. Do you see that little pencil at the bottom of your screen? There's a pencil that has number 2 next to it.
So I'm
Mhm.
I'm trying to search using Control Shift F.
No, no, that's fine. Don't worry about that test now. We just want to make
Okay.
a commit. We want to make a commit that says that this test has failed because we commit one by one, right? So do you see that pencil icon at the very bottom?
Yes.
Click
So
on it.
so we
Mhm.
want to push this change.
Yeah, we're not gonna push it. We're just gonna commit. There's a
Okay.
bunch of commits and then you push. So do Control V and then take a space and do a thin arrow and then take a space again and say fail. hmm And then fail, all uppercase. What is this saying? This is test driven, right? So the test failed,
Hmm.
right? We're reverting a change. When you are making a change, you write the test first and then you make it pass, right? When
Yeah.
you're reverting, you remove the implementation, so the test would fail, and then you remove the test completely. So let's make that commit first. hmm Now, this test is the only test in this file that you're in. Let's remove the whole file.
The whole file.
Mm, the whole file where the test is. So scroll
Uh,
down. Do you see it? You're selecting it right now.
yeah.
Let's remove that file completely from the solution. Mm, remove, delete. hmm Because we don't need that test anymore. That test is failing, right?
Yes.
Now let's click on that pencil again and then do Control V again. And then do thin arrow, not fat, thin arrow, and then gone, all uppercase. That means you deleted that test.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now you can do a push. So you see
Okay.
that drop down, or you can do that too. Click on the push top button at the top right that has an arrow going up. Okay, you already pushed?
Yes.
No, no, not yet. It wants you to log in. Go ahead and log in to GitHub. Mhm. Here we go. Should open up a window for you. Yeah, there it is. Now just log in. Oh, that's all you have to do. Yep, yep. Go ahead. Yep, and then you can close. And then now,
Yeah.
I
I think.
think,
Yeah. It's. I mean,
is
the
it
code has
pushing?
been pushed. Yes.
No, it's not. Do you know how I know? Do you see at the very bottom? Do you see that top arrow?
Oh, now it
Now it
is.
is. Now it
Yes.
is. Okay, perfect. Now let's go to GitHub.
So we don't need to create any pull request or something.
No, we will. Let's go to GitHub. Go to the fork that you created, the MRK Ready 6 OSSS, the second tab on the right. You
Yeah.
see it? Not this one, the one that, yeah. See, it's already telling you create the pull request, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now click on that green button that says compare and create pull request. hmm And name your pull request the exact same name of the issue that you were working with. See, the issue is on the previous tab.
Yeah.
Take that guy and just slap it in there as a title. hmm Now click create pull request. That's your first pull request, my friend. Now let me show you what happens now. I'm gonna take the screen from you, okay?
Sure.
So now I'm gonna go here, share screen. I'm gonna go back here. and I'm gonna go to pull requests, and I'm gonna see this commit that you just made, right?
Yes.
As soon as you make a commit like this, it's already kicking off a build for you. Like if I
Mm-hmm.
click on this build here, I can go here and see what are the thing. It's waiting on the code inspector, and then after the code inspector is done, it will kick off the build.
Yeah.
Now, let me explain to you how this project works so you understand, okay? This project is an open source schooling system. Its main responsibility is to allow you to be able to basically create a top level, world class open source schooling system for free.
Mm-hmm.
Any school around the world is allowed to use this system as long as they reallocate the funds that they were going to pay for software usage and subscription towards the financially disadvantaged students within that school.
Okay.
So so let me just give you an example. Let's say there's ABC school, right? An ABC school have allocated, let's say, $50,000 to
Mm-hmm.
buy a new schooling system. Okay? We
Yeah.
go and say, okay, you don't have to pay $50,000 to buy a new schooling system. Use OSSS for free as long as you promise that these $50,000 will be distributed equally across the poorest students in that school. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
So that's what this OSSS is. It's basically an initiative. We say this is a coalition of the good-hearted engineers, meaning that these are engineers that have their day jobs, they have their families, they have things to do, but yet they're still investing in their skill sets. And in return, the people who invest in these skill sets, the people who actually work on these skill sets, they are rewarded something else. They get to have a profile, something that I call Get File Profile. This is the website that you just logged in.
Mm-hmm.
This get file profile, what it basically is doing is that it's going and saying, if you contribute and work on your own skill sets, I will be able to kind of give you a measure of where you stand in terms of contributions, right?
Okay.
So this get file profile today, you see engineers, some engineers say, "Oh, I have 50 years of experience, I have 20 years of experience. Oh, I'm very well versed in API development." But when you look, there is no evidence, there's no data to
Yeah.
show that they have done that work. So what I did is that I built a system that goes and says, "Let me analyze your code, and based only on your code, I can tell you your performance, where you are, what contribution you have, what's your average time that you take to execute. It will help you evolve as an engineer, but also it lets your code write your resume. Let your
Mm-hmm.
code tell the world who you are and what you're good at. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's
Yes.
not just people lying in their resumes and saying, "Oh, I'm really good at SQL Server." Well, where is it? I don't see anything. Have you seen this before? People come in and say, I am proficient at UI development, right? And
Yeah.
you look online, there's no articles, there's no code, there's no where's what you're talking about, right? But even more importantly, some people used to be good and then they became at a leadership position like a manager or something, right? And then they stopped improving their skill sets, right?
Yeah.
We show them an indication that their skill set is degrading. Like if you stop coding, it will say this guy didn't contribute in like 30 days. So he's
Yeah.
now grade B, B1, right? So anyway, let me take you back to the screen here, and let me just show you here what that means. If you go back here into the screen, I can see here, let me fix this real quick. Here's the screen. Here's your pull requests, right? That's your pull request. I will say approve and run. So now it's running in. Your check. This is the check that we care about. This is how we know we gate away, right? Any issues that may be in the code to make sure that the code that gets merged in the master branch is
Okay.
only code that builds. So the next time someone like Ram comes in and says, "Hey Hassan, I want to contribute to the project," I have full confidence that the project will be building.
Yes.
Even if you don't have Visual Studio 2022, we'll figure out a way to make it work, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
That
there's
is.
always a way. That's what we do. We're problem solvers. We're engineers, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's the deal, my friend. Now, let's say this is as soon as this PR gets merged in, if you
Mm-hmm.
check within an hour or so after our digestion service picks up your new contribution
Yep.
and visit your profile, you will see something very similar to this. It'll tell you, If you go to getfile.com and you log in with your GitHub, the same GitHub account that you use to publish your
Hmm.
PR, what it's going to do is going to go and say, okay, hello, Ram, here is your score, here's your rank worldwide, here's your level. You can be a coder, developer, engineer, programmer. Here's how many days of contributions you have. Here's your grade, and here's how many PRs that you collaborated on. So it kind of even shows people that you actually are able to work in a team and collaborate with a team and all that kind of stuff. But also, more importantly, it shows you the spread of your proficiency. Think this guy does code refactoring, code rub, he does pages, acceptance, controllers for APIs, he
Oh,
does components, everything RAM. Every single aspect you can think of when it comes to software development, even documentation. Say this guy submitted documentation. This guy knows how to do data migration. This guy knows how to do integrations with APIs and SQL databases. Everything you can think of. Not just that, it will give you averages. It will tell you, hey, by the way, you take a little bit longer working on brokers, an average of 2 hours, right? If you see your average of contribution going up like this, that's not a good sign. If it's going down, that means you're getting better. You're getting really good at your work, and you're really good at your profession. Does that make sense?
yes, 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 yes.
So anyway, welcome to my universe. This is a huge universe, right? And
Yeah.
this is an initiative, a movement, right? We're basically trying to redesign the software industry. We're
Yes.
basically reconceptualizing our software industry in a way that makes it so much easier for everybody. I don't want an engineer out there to be sitting there and saying, here's the thing, we want to cancel interviews,
Hmm.
we want to cancel tick assessments, okay? We want to cancel, people being rewarded whether on how much the manager likes them or not. We want to have people be rewarded and appreciated and recognized only RAM based on what?
Git
Their
file.
work. Their
Work.
work.
Yeah.
Contribution. Whether people like you or not, whether the manager likes you or not, whether you know how to lie in your resume or not, it doesn't matter,
Yes.
right? Because it's your hand work is what you're rewarded on. And there's also another aspect of Git file, which is basically, let's say there's this kid Krishna in India, right? And there's this guy John here in New York City, right? If Krishna and John are providing the same value, they should be paid the same. They should be paid the same. How do we know they're providing the same value if we don't have a standard? That's why I built Git file.
Yes.
Does
Yes.
that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Anyway, it looks like your PR is almost done. We did the restore. We did the build. It's running the tests right now. Here we go. See, all the test has passed. It took 3 seconds. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, 1400, and then this is the acceptance test. It's almost done. Almost done. 120 something tests. Once all of this passes, if you check your profile, you're in Texas, right? So your time now is about 9 o'clock right
Y-
now.
Eight.
Is 8
Eight.
o'clock, two
Yeah.
hours ahead, right? So,
Yeah.
okay, the build has passed. I'm going to go back to your pull request here. I'm going to go look at the storage validation. It says all checks have passed. That means you did very well. That means you didn't break it. And then I'm going to look at the code in here just to make sure, okay, he did good. He did good in here, and he removed this file. Perfect. I'm going to go here and welcome to your very first merge in the open source world, my friend. It looks like you have already previous open source contributions, so you'll be just fine. This is not your very first one. But
Yeah.
welcome to this standardized software universe. Now that your PR is merged, if you check in about 50, 59, sorry, 40, 49 minutes, you're
Hmm.
going to see your Git file profile goes from, it looks like you don't have any contributions,
Yes.
to it saying, hey, you have 1 point and your rank, I don't know, there's 130 users on the system right now, so there's a lot of people have been joining our new initiative. But here's the thing for you though. Now, what are you supposed to do to learn more about this? There's so many other open similar issues. Go
Yes.
and create more PRs, sync up your master, make sure your master is synced up with the latest. Do you know how to do that? Like when you fork a branch, when you fork a repository, there is a button in your repository. I'm going to switch back to your screen here. Scroll up a little bit. Scroll up to your screen, on your screen a little bit.
Okay.
Yep, and go to your fork. So click on that fork. It'll tell you already have it forked, and it'll take you there. There it is. Do you see that little under the green button code? Do you see the part where it says fetch upstream?
Yes.
Click on that guy and then click fetch and merge. Done. Your branch
Okay.
is up to date. Now on your local machine, if you go back to master and update your master from the remote, and then you create a new branch, you can create more and more PRs that are targeting similar issues. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
There you go. So now if you click on that arrow up button, you can click sync. No, not this one, on the left side. No, 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 go down, all the way down. You can do that too. Sync and push. Yep, you can do that too. I normally use the arrow up, but there's so many different buttons, and you can do it through the command line and all that. Now, how do you know you have the latest and greatest? If you look at the commit history, it will show you your name. Do you see your name there? Ram,
Yeah.
do you see it? Two of them.
Yep.
That's it. Your name is written in history. Does that make sense?
Yes. So once we try to fetch sync, and if we don't have any incoming request, then we can come to know that we have the latest one, right?
It sometimes says 00 until you do it because this 00 means of what it knows locally on your machine. But you
Okay.
have to push it. You have to tell it, right? I normally just do git pull, like git checkout master and git pull command line. But if you
Okay.
want to do it through the UI, that works too.
Yep.
All right, man. I hope that was useful for you. Do you have anything else for me?
No, Hassan. It was really nice talking to you, and thanks for having me. So yeah.
Awesome. Ram, it's been fun. And at any point in time, if you want to start kind of building end to end, and pairing sessions, I do pairing sessions with a lot of people from all over the world, like Australia, from, Europe, from, Latin America, everywhere. I pair with people all the time. So at any point in time, if you feel like you want to do end to end software development with me, I'd be more than happy to hang out with you. And I hope you're okay if I publish this session so people like yourself know how to
Sure. Sure.
contribute to open source community.
Sure. Sure.
All right. You have a wonderful night, my friend.
Thank you, Hassan.
Kudos to you for working on your skill set over weekends. I really appreciate the zeal and that's zeal, that's passion, that's you coming out and trying to actually join the open source community and build something great. This is maybe one commit that took us 10 minutes, right? But
Yes.
that one commit that took us 10 minutes, maybe that's your good karma because you contributed to something that is supposed to help people out there, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Ram, thank you so much. I'll
Thank you,
talk to you
Hassan.
later. Thank you guys for watching us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in another video.
Sure. Bye, guys.